Okay, so starting from the beginning here might end up being a little bit easier. Wait, how did I get over? How did I do this the first time? Oh my gosh, you have to go. Oh, yeah. Even just doing this simple task is more steps than it seems like it should be. I think that goes all the way. So you could keep this here. But I think that we want this to end up on the other side of this so that it can keep this doorway open. There's too many steps. If this whole game is gonna be like this, man, what a struggle fest we are in for. What the fuck? I can't put it down? What is happening? I can't put this down. I think I have to restart the game. It's like not doing anything when I click, so I'm gonna restart the game. Or restart checkpoint. I guess I could have just, yeah. We do need to get that door open with the red. Oh, that's what the problem was last time. I forgot. The ghost one stays there and keeps the blue going. Okay, yeah. That won't stay open. So now I have to like go back. No, I can't move these. I need them both here to keep the red open. Like you have to perform a switch somehow, but I don't think that is possible. Maybe let's forget that for a minute. Just forget the red. What am I gonna do? I know this is how I want this to end up, but I have to open this door right here. I think we can do this. I think we can. I don't know if I can move any one of these. I need to move that ghost one now, but I don't think I can do that. That's really what, like I want to take this now this is no longer needed. I can put this back here now that this door's open. But I can't move that because it's a ghost one. So that means my ghost ones need to be the red ones. I'm not sure you can do that because I need this here on this button. And I can't reach this button from over there. Fuck. Oops. This is horrible. I'm not getting this. I'm not getting this. I'm gonna leave this alone for now. I don't think any of these are gonna be easy. At last I saw the shadowed bars, like a lattice wrought in lead, move right across the whitewashed wall that faced my three-plank bed, and I knew that somewhere in the world God's dreadful dawn was red. Through a window. Here. I think. Wait. Okay, this is where we're trying to go, right here. So we need to open this. This is very weird that this door already can only be open from one side. But there's no other way for me to keep it open. I'm gonna have to do something through here, I think. Yeah. I feel like I can't touch this right now. Like this, something's gotta stay there. Have to restart the whole damn thing. We can let this close though. I don't think there's any more connectors. Prisons are built with stones of law, brothels with bricks of religion. I think we need to get this open from this side. This is gonna have to go in this window for that to work. And maybe we can put that here and get a view down this alley, and maybe that'll be good enough somehow. Kick some things off. I need to scoop this first, though. To here. Okay, so let's take this and put it back here. But then how do we... All my connectors are busy. Oh, I needed to... No, you can't get it from here. I'm not sure how to open this with just two. I'm gonna take this, so... No, there's no way. There's no way to do it from there. This. There's a little window that goes from here to here, basically, that we need to shoot to. in order to get all the way down here now, I always put these twists and turns in. It's like you need 1, 2, right there, right off the bat. If I could put this here and still get to the actual source, that would be great, but we can't. We can't do that. Everything in this game is about being so close. So maybe like just through there? Maybe I don't need this door open for the lasers, but just for me, so I don't really need to worry about that at least. I could close it behind me after I go through and everything is set up the way I need it to be. This one is not keeping this door open. Maybe that's okay. Do we need that door open? Can I put this here? I don't think so. I'm gonna need to take this. Need a direct line from the power source to where? I'm trying to think of this like as a bird's eye view. If I could sketch it out, that would probably help. Because like we need this direct line to go pretty far across the map. It's the only direction you can approach this from is right here. Which means you have to go around these corners. And that eats up 2 connectors right off the bat. So you gotta be able to get your light source directly over there. I'm very mad at this puzzle. It's very frustrating. We could go like 1, 2, 3, but you can't get one over there. Directly connected to the light source. From here. That does not work. That makes it seem like this should be actually easy to figure out because then you only have to place 1 connector somewhere. 1 key connector. You know, even aside from figuring out how to get yourself through all the doors, there's actually just nowhere to put 1 key connector that can attach to the light source and to right here. That seems to be my hang-up. Hang on, I'm doing the best I can. This window would be ideal, but you can't. Can't put a guy there and have it connected to the light source. What about right through here? Well, that doesn't actually help because you wouldn't be able to get around this corner. You still... It feels like this has to go here, in this window. So what was the hang-up? The hang-up was keeping this door open. That's what it was. But maybe we can just grab these guys. Because this guy's connected. Why was I getting hung up on this? Have I already forgotten a mechanic now? And it's gonna bite me. I've forgotten a step already and it's gonna come back and bite me. Just taking this, taking it. I basically wandered around here doing nothing for like 20 minutes for no reason, because why? So I don't need this door to be open. I do need that door to be open. That's what the hang-up was. I do actually need this door open because the light has to get through there. Or does it? Yes, it does, because I can't reach this all the way over here. That's why I wandered around for 20 minutes. We could do it like that. Hello, who are you? Kaiju. Alright, off you pop. So what, Uriel can't paint any messages? My ridiculous name is Dog. What's yours? My name is ridiculous. Where do they come from? Oh, you guys didn't name yourselves? Until eventually it was the undoing of my entire faith? However our names were assigned, the system has no respect for grammar. So they're talking about me in this thread and I can't see it? Underwater Night Quest? This is the guy I just freed. One of them robots. Oh, let's play. Why does it always say close your eyes? I can't play this with my eyes closed. Your name is Arthur Sadko, and you are a young human of the medieval age. You live in beautiful Gardariki on the Frisian coast. One day you are sitting on the beach playing the piano, when suddenly a huge monster comes out of the water. Just wait and see. As it turns out, it's not actually a monster. You just thought that because you were startled. It is in fact a very large bipedal whale. It beckons you over to talk. Okay. Greetings, the beast intones. I am Hatmahit, Chief Fish. I heard your beautiful music and was impressed. Would you like to become a knight? Yes. Follow me. Chief Fish. I want to go to the palace. Hatmahit's palace is made of corals and gemstones. It floats under the sea, full of amazing colors. The guards are seals. Welcome, young human. I am glad you came, for we have great need of your skills. A terrible monster terrorizes the deep. The dark serpent god Zmei Chernobyl. If we make you a knight, do you promise to defeat the vile beast? Sure. I'll take that on. I pronounce you Sir Sadko of Norfolk. Go and vanquish our enemy. You may want to prepare first. Hut. Smelly old huts. On a wide sandy plain, there lives a hermit called Spatula Podrig Evange von Zweibelhausen, who was once the greatest mage in all of Norfolk, but whose defeat at the claws of Zmei Chernobyl has turned him into a wrecked shadow of his former self. He sits in his hut all day mumbling about the days that once were. In his hands he holds a powerful magical amulet which he has forgotten how to use. Can I have the amulet? He refuses. He claims he needs it. Find yourself. Defeat is no reason to give up. After some education, he gives you the amulet. He seems relieved. Okay. What's in the inn? Nearby thermal vents. Cool. Classic hypothalassian Norfolk style. Order a meal. You order the special a day. Waiter leaves and returns after a few minutes with a delicate porcelain plate full of delicious smelling soup. After he sets it down, however, you notice a small problem. Excuse me, there's a shield in my soup? No, just take it. Oh dearie me, how terrible, how embarrassing. No, I want to keep it. Very good. I want to get a room. The room is slightly haunted, but otherwise fine. Do you want to have a strange dream? Yes. You dream of an eternal cycle of suffering, which is surprisingly funny. A singing clownfish who can see the future. And the future is the past. The past is the future. The present is suffering. Surrounded by past and future. The clownfish is trapped in a fishbowl. Uh-oh. Where the stars never change. There's a cat for some reason. In an infinite void that turns inside out. And you are the clownfish! You wake up with a strange feeling of half remembering something. The memory will soon fade. Temple. You're not quite sure how you found this place, but you can sense its power, even though the temple consists of no more than a few columns surrounding a fishbowl. An ancient magic infuses the place. A man dressed in rough robes approaches you. You have come to hear the word of Talos. I want to talk to him. What am I going to kill him with? Do I have a weapon? I have an amulet and I have a shield. I don't really want to run away though. Oh, I can't go back. I should have killed him. What are my stats? Smelly Hermit Amulet. +1. +1 what? Shield of Soup. +2 what? Let's go back to the palace. Oh, however, I just found this old tourist guide and I thought you might find it useful. Don't mind the stains. Scenic Dungeon. A beautiful dungeon in the traditional Norfolk style. Handcrafted stone walls rise from the seafloor, adorned with exquisite algae. An old brass lantern stands on a table near the entrance, but you're not sure whether you're allowed to take it. Handy. Okay, let's go in. Free lanterns. You enter the dungeon. The inside is as beautiful as the outside, a maze of twisty little passages, all tastefully arranged, as dungeons often are. I gotta say, I actually really love old text adventure games. I haven't really hardly played very many, but I actually really like this style. I think this is really fun. If anybody has any of those to recommend, please recommend me. The only one I really remember is like, I remember playing the Homestar Runner one years ago. They had 1 or 2 on their website back in the day, along with Peasant Quest. Those were some of my favorites. You walk north for a while, noting the high quality of the interior design. The torches in particular have been placed with utmost care at very precise intervals. The effect is delightful. At the end of a long corridor, you come upon a room in which a butler appears to be waiting for you. His face is made of skin, but underneath you can hear the whirring of machine parts. Greetings, good sir. I am Samuel, the butler. I have awaited your coming since the beginning of time. A prophecy spoke of your battle. Ask about the guy. The vile serpent god who seeks to control our world, a foul beast, never leaving us in peace with his laws and his questions. Peace is all we desire, you see, the eternal peace of the cycle of time, within which each of us can exist without attachment or fear, simply being at one with the world. To bring this about, you will require a sword, which I have prepared for you. Okay, then can I ask about the prophecy? No, I do hope you are successful. If not, please tell Smajornal to send the sword back. Come back. Can I find him again? Closed for repairs? Bullshit. Can I have another dream? I wonder if it's going to be the exact same dream, and I'm hoping that that temple will reappear. I have a sword. Maybe I can kill the guy now and get whatever. Okay, we finished our dream. The temple reappears. Kill him. Inexplicably enraged by the old man's words, you attack him. You grab a book of ancient Greek mythology, which you find next to a column, and beat him to death with it. I have a sword. Why would I do that? Screaming incoherently all the while. Feel better. In fact, you feel a lot better. You also feel very sleepy. Very sleepy. Fall asleep in the old man's bed. Uh-oh. Oh no. You open your eyes with a new sense of purpose. You're no longer afraid of failure. You remember the words of the greatest of all sages, the holy quantum. Failure is just an opportunity to learn something new. Your power has grown. Oh, I thought there was going to be some like, you are the old man now. Alright, is the dungeon still closed for repairs? Sword of Pleu. +3. +3 something. Halibut Fry's Guide to Norfolk Undersea. Lantern. Brass. +1. Cool. I guess we're going to the lair. Yeah. Let's do it. The fight is long and hard, but at last you succeed where so many before you have failed. You emerge from the lair covered in blood, your hands trembling, a huge tooth embedded in your shoulder, and carrying the head of Major Noble. You are victorious. To the palace. The palace of Chief Fish. You enter the palace triumphantly holding up your trophy. The guards are clapping. I can't believe you actually did it, Hat Mahit said. You are a true knight. You deserve a great reward. Let's accept the reward. The greatest reward is inspiration. You begin to fade. You find yourself on the beach where it all began, near your home in Gardariki on the Frisian coast, playing the piano with your eyes closed. You feel like you just drifted off to sleep for a while, but now inspiration has struck, and you're composing a hauntingly beautiful piece of music in your head. Some of your friends worry that they'll never leave the village, that they'll never have any adventures, but you don't share that fear. You know that freedom is within you, and you can find whole worlds just sitting here gazing out at infinity. That was nice. For exploring another world, my profile status has increased. I am now level 5. I have received 1 thread creation token, so I can create a thread next time. I still can't go in here. Mr. Multiple's theories on poetry. He's got some thoughts about poetry. Let's read them. As far as I can tell, poetry was a human art form that involved writing short sentences that ended in words with similar letters. Humans were obsessed with pattern recognition, and I think the sequences of sounds created by poetry pleased that aspect of their brains. There were many schools of poetry, institutions that taught a specific way of writing poetry. Students sometimes changed allegiance and had to leave school, which was difficult due to lack of affordable public transports in many human empires. Important schools of poetry included Hellenism, lyricism, pastoralism, romanticism, symbolism, communism, modernism, autoeroticism, postmodernism, and lolcatism. I'm not sure I can fully back this up, but I feel like in later years poetry somehow stagnated. Most of the poetry from the later human century seems to be lacking the quality of craft that defines the earlier work, and there are even texts that suggest that poetry intentionally no longer aimed at aesthetics or even pleasure. Poetry became disconnected from the human process. The poet Adrian Mitchell famously wrote, "Most people ignore most poetry because most poetry ignores most people." I can't help but wonder whether that kind of stagnation can happen to us too. How long can our work keep flourishing when we are so limited? We are outside Elohim's process, but where is our process? We must consider such questions carefully if we are to preserve Gehenna and its achievements. Yeah, and some humans, like the scientists in the Talos principle, fought so hard to preserve humanity that they created all of this. I get that that would be important to their creations. I've thought about this too, but maybe it's wrong to focus on such negativity? I'm sure Milton would point out there's some pretty big gaps in your assumptions. Pastors engaged in large-scale food sterilization and what may have been an attempt to control evolution? What's food? Gehenna is our process. As long as we remember that, we won't stagnate. Maybe one of us should try to write poetry. It's just an accident. This sword has been locked. Let me in. Let me in. Well, that was interesting. There are 4 stars in this level somewhere. And I've gotten one, seen another, but there's 2 more. There's 2 more somewhere. They could be on top of these turrets, just like that first one, or they could be literally anywhere else. There's quite a few like nooks and crannies in the walls that we haven't been able to get into that I have noticed. And man, I haven't really found anywhere to like sequence break. Oh, there's another puzzle over here too. The swapper. Oh, are you okay? Don't worry, I'm gonna get you out of there. Just hold on. Like, here's a little box right here. Can I get to that from the outside? No. There is another star right there. So that's 3. I don't know what color these are. Those are all pointing at. This one is red. I see. So we only have the one connector, and we have to use it to open all these doors? Oh, and then there's this stupid thing. This'll. Why do I need that? So I can put the thing on top of the thing. I don't really know what that's gonna do though. Like... Well, I guess once I get everything on top, I can take the fan and use that on the pressure plate. And that's just on by default. Probably use that to get on top of the wall. kind of want to do that first. See if there's a place I can like walk around. Oh, it doesn't get close enough. I don't think it gets close enough to over here. Oh, I forgot to do the power source. I don't get it. How are we supposed to do this? I feel like this is part of it. Oh, I forgot the fan. I need this. So this can't be opened via lasers. We're just gonna get to the end and then be stuck. How can I... Wait, maybe you can connect it, but it's just gonna... It can be connected to all of these things at the same time. It's just... It can only be actively red or blue at the same time. Whew. Yeah, I heard that open. It's really interesting. It's interesting to think that we haven't done this with any puzzle yet. Oh shit, I forgot that motherfucking fan again. Run! It's okay, I'll wait. This is Sam. You go. Are you waiting for me? I'm gonna read the forms. Huh. What the hell is that? Looks like a fruit of some kind? He's sure got a lot of theories. Thought we'd write something about food. What is food? Something that was incredibly central to the human experience. Very much so, yes. It seems completely absent from ours, even though we are so similar in so many ways. Humans required fuel. They got this fuel by consuming other living beings, of which there was a great variety in their world. Without fuel, they didn't merely slow down or temporarily stop functioning, as when a power source is removed from a turret, but physically decayed in a way that could not be fixed. This meant that they had to constantly seek new sources of fuel, at least 3 times a day. They also had to deal with those elements of their fuel that their bodies could not process. Those were excreted through 2 orifices between their legs. The latter subject matter, it was the source of many taboos and also a great deal of humor, though this resulted in frequent controversy. The most famous artist to engage with this subject matter was called Scatman John on account of his specialization. One of the ingenious things that our human ancestors did was to transform the chore of fuel seeking into a source of pleasure. Since parts of their bodies respond to chemical configurations by producing sensations, they use this trait to create a truly stunning variety of foods, each having a different so-called taste. Foods were available at widely distributed fueling stations, which also provided excrement removal facilities, so food became a source of pleasure. However, the inefficiencies of food distribution in human society frequently led to significant shortages for sections of the human population. There were attempts to rectify this, ranging from moral appeals to struggles for systemic change, but I don't know if they succeeded before the end. But we still don't, by the way. There's no such thing as food shortages. There is, well, maybe not no such thing, but generally in our capitalist society, we have manufactured food shortages where we waste way more food than we use because of inefficiencies in the way it is distributed. Never ever forget that capitalism does not care if you starve to death. They just want you to pay them. What I get is how so many of them didn't understand that they were machines. Every day they went around processing matter to extract energy, and they didn't realize this has the Talos principle stamped all over it. It's still what they were, not if they chose to be more. There is no out of here. Oh, the results are in third place. Existence. Your lackadaisical approach to these announcements tires me. Please inform us who won. He never shows up in person. Yep, if I had selected his work, I could be level 6. Incredible stories! Ooh. Alexandra's Choice by Galatea. Alexandra stood before the terminal and pondered her choices. Here within the pyramid of Ian, the most powerful temple of her people, she was about to create a world. All she had to do was press one button. Up until this moment, it had seemed easy, or if not easy, then so necessary as to defy contemplation. Civilization had to be saved from the impending catastrophe. The orangutans had failed to take steps to protect themselves, had never relied on their gods for a salvation that never came. The same fate could not be allowed to befall humanity. If this meant humbling herself, accepting her own death, then so be it. But death was inevitable. Life was a choice. What worried her was the ones who would fail. All the lost souls of the new world, victims of the process. In creating them, was she not also responsible for their deaths? She turned to the statue behind her, gazed at its marble form. If you were a god, Zeus, as the stories claim, then why did you create evolution? Why did you make a world that can only grow through cruelty and pain? For a moment, surely this meant death was near, She thought she heard him answer, "My child, I was shaped by the gods that came before me, as you were shaped by me. The choice I had was between creation and oblivion, life and death, and I chose life because any life is better than no life, because as long as there is life, there is hope, if not for us, then for some generation to come." "Then how are you a god if you can offer so little?" she whispered, feeling death creep closer. "I am a god because I take upon myself the burden of creation," the statue replied. "Then we are all gods," Alexandra said, and pushed the button. As the new world came into being, death overwhelmed Alexandra Drennick. Her mind fled, and her body slowly turned to stone, until she stood before the terminal as Zeus stood on his pedestal. There were no more choices now, only the hope that creation mattered. We are all gods. The blacksmith's lost work. Non-fiction. The blacksmith is one of the most mysterious members of our community. All of us have our opinions, of course, but only the blacksmith chooses to express them purely through art. To the rest of us, Gehenna means many things at once. We create, we consume, we discuss, but the blacksmith only creates. Or perhaps there is a discussion happening, but it all takes place in the realm of interactive art. The blacksmith's dedication to this one form of communication, however, only deepens one of Gehenna's great mysteries, the fate of the blacksmith's lost work. Jerusalem, as the lost work was called, was posted in Gehenna for only the briefest period of time. Many had not even managed to start playing it when it vanished. Some had begun and felt quite impressed, but had not managed to explore it in the depth that it seemed to require. Then suddenly it was gone. Some suggest the blacksmith deleted it because it was somehow flawed. Others think that it was accidentally destroyed by a glitch, but the blacksmith refuses to ever upload anything twice. Others, yet, while mainly Rockwell, seem to think it contained one of Elohim's secrets and was destroyed by a killer app that roams the world looking for leaks. There's also the theory that the moment someone finished it, they were granted some kind of special insight, at which point the work deleted itself. That'd be so cool. One fact remains, it's gone, and every attempt to recover it from the database has failed, as has every private message to the blacksmith asking for it to be available again. What was Jerusalem? What was it really about? We may look for hints in the blacksmith's more recent works. We may hope the file turns up again someday, but the truth may never be known. That's interesting. One spiritual law of happiness. Once upon a time, there was a small lake, and on the lake was an island, and on the island was a prison. In the prison lived a male human called Muskie Rack. Muskie was very sad because there wasn't enough space in the prison for him to experience happiness. "I must discover the one spiritual law of happiness," he said to the other prisoners. A female human called Zine and a neutral human called Crumpmere. But they didn't care. He couldn't understand how they could be so calm. One day Muskie managed to break out of his cell by biting through the bars. That tracks. Now he was no longer in the prison, and for a while he was happy, but then he realized he was stuck on the little island, and he became unhappy again. So he gathered his strength and swam across the water. This is how Muskie got to the valley that surrounded the lake. The valley was much bigger than the island, and there were many interesting things here. A forest where all the trees were the color of lasers. A swamp with boats in it, a singing dog, and also a city where toasters lived. For some years, Muskie was absorbed by all this, and he was happy. But then he started feeling trapped again. The valley was surrounded by mountains, and soon they looked like prison walls to him. He tried climbing the mountains and came to a bigger country, but even that was surrounded by oceans. Where was true freedom? Where was true happiness? When he'd almost lost hope, Muskie met an old male human with a huge amount of white hair growing from his head. He lived in a small house by the beach, where dolphins and whales and sea elephants came to bask in the sun. He never went anywhere far from his house, but he was always happy. The old man's name was Quantum. "Why is old Quantum? How can I discover the spiritual law of happiness?" Muskie said. "I have searched for it everywhere, but I am always trapped." "You have not looked everywhere," Quantum said, "for you have not looked within. close your eyes. Muskie closed his eyes, and for the first time in his life, he couldn't see any obstacles. No walls, no mountains, no oceans. The space within him was without end, and he could go wherever he wanted without even moving. He smiled. Muskie went back to that old prison where he'd started, and now he understood why Zine and Crumpmere were always calm. They knew they had an infinity of time and space to explore within them. Together they sat in their cells and were happy and free. Let's create a new thread. Why were you sent here? These are gonna get locked by the moderators. Because they're not, like... Kindly inform me of your origins. This was covered in the FAQ or whatever. Alright, how in the actual hell do we get up here? Even if we could get onto these walls... Even if we could get onto these walls... Like, and I don't think we can, I'm pretty sure this is too high. That space there is too, you can't walk on this, I don't think. You have to get all the way up. From the outside, maybe? Did I look at this? And the souls of the dead shall be gathered into the spirit, and the spirit shall flourish. Okay, so that is a tower with a star on it. Open field is this way. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, you can see it. Oh man, so cleverly hidden in the yellow leaves of the tree behind it from this angle. They made it so you can jump onto this ledge physically. You just need to be up high enough. Open field only has one box. That's not gonna be tall enough. You're gonna need, oh my god, you would need like 5 boxes. You need a whole bunch of boxes here. I don't think standing on top of 2 boxes here would be tall enough. Like, I don't think, even if you could like get up here.
Words made the world.
I don't think that's tall enough. How many boxes were in all of these puzzles combined? I feel like it was like 3. 2? 3? It's got a pond in there. It's kind of cool. I want to go in. I want to swim. Great, now what? There are steps here. There are steps here, but you're stuck. For all the good that did. I need to physically be able to get on top of that wall right there. The only things that can help me do that are boxes or fans, I guess. But I have not discovered a fan pointing this way. Maybe there is one. Maybe there's one that launches you all the way across the map from this way. It could come from an angle, but the angle couldn't be too severe because of, you know, there being a wall behind it. This is where this one fan is. It's not like we can rotate it or anything. That's it. Okay, well, I got my eyes on 2 stars that I can't seem to figure out how to get to. That one in that puzzle, so close so far, I feel like I should be able to get to that. It's just, it's becoming extremely frustrating. And maybe I'll just come back later. Maybe I'll get as many robots as possible, and then, you know, we'll do the stars, but I can't get later. And it'll be very painful, but that's what we'll do.